Hey, what's up, everybody? What's going on? This is the first episode of Straight Talk with Rashida Hunt. Why don't you introduce yourself to the people?
Yo, 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 yo. What's up, people? It's your girl, Rashida Hunt here. Yeah, this ain't Blog Talk Radio. I'm with my boy Gabe. We doing the damn thing.
That's right.
So if y'all always wanted to know the voice behind everything, Blog Talk, it was me. Crazy as possible.
Yeah, we talking like 10, 11 years back that y'all haven't heard her on the internet, but she's back now. This is a brand new podcast, and I'm her co-host, Gabriel Daniels, aka IMC. By the way, just in case you're wondering, yes, I got three projects out right now. Um, One is called Demolish and Conquer. The other one is called From the Heart. And the last one is called DJ Livewire Presents Universal Boombox. That's on all digital platforms. All right. So we're going to get into the topic tonight. Tonight's topic is about relationships. All right. So why don't you start off?
Man, where do I start? Relationships are crazy, man. Like social media puts a lot of emphasis on relationships, and what I don't like about it is that you'll be on social media and people will see a married couple and they'll try to emulate that couple, like, oh, I wish I was that couple, or I wish to have a marriage like that. No, the fuck you don't. You don't want a marriage like that. You don't want to be in a marriage like that because you don't know if he has baby mamas. You don't know if she has baby daddies. You don't know what kind of stuff they were going on that was going on that was and still is going on in that marriage that you don't see, you know, on the social media. Of course, people ain't going to come on the social media with a black eye and be like, "Oh, he beating the hell out of me" or such and such. Like you're going to see them smiling and laughing all the time, but you don't want to you don't want to be in a relationship like other people. You want to create your own footprint, your own blueprint of your own relationship, and you guide off of there. And if once you let God lead your relationship and you can follow him, then your relationship will be where it needs to be. But as long as you trying to copy somebody else's relationship, like your shit gonna fail, man. Always. Cause you can't
Exactly.
copy what that other couple is doing.
That's a fact. That reminds me, just a couple of weeks ago, I want to say, I hope that I'm saying it right. It's Tia Mori, right? That got divorced from Corey Hardrick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
File for
so
divorce.
yeah, so people were like surprised, like, oh, they've been together for so long. They've been together for 14 years. But obviously something wasn't working in their marriage. Possibly it could be their schedules, they're both um doing movies and television shows and talk shows and things of that nature. But Corey Hardrick says it's a different story. Like he didn't even know the divorce was coming up, and the problem is sometimes when we're not able to read our partners or spouses, we miss the little things or the hints, you know, like for example, you might have been used to your spouse cooking you dinner or leaving you dinner almost every night, right? Or you're used to having certain types of conversations. After a while, slowly but surely, they're putting in longer hours. They can barely be home for you or cook for you or do the things for you that they used to do. And when you get home, it's the bare minimum. Hi, bye. That's it. It's dead. I'll give you another couple, which is there. These guys are big on social media. All right, so there's a rapper by the name of La Truth, right? There's La Truth, and then there's
My mom and
Memphis.
my sister were just talking about them earlier.
You know what? Last week when I was on social media, I saw the story, and it said that Rihanna and Robert, that's their real names, were getting a divorce. She didn't go into it. It was a small snippet that she posted on her page. And I'm trying to figure out, wait a minute, how could this couple have problems? They're always so positive. They always talk about everything that they've gone through, how Robert went through cancer and, he had his stomach taken out he so that he could live a little bit longer because he had, I believe it was his mother and his sister that passed away from the same type of cancer that he had. I'm not sure if it was stomach cancer or another cancer. More than likely, it was probably stomach cancer. But this couple is always so positive on social media. You know, like Brianna was always Robert's cheerleader, and Robert was always, I guess, in a way, her cheerleader or motivator. So today I was on the social media and I found out exactly why they were getting a divorce. Now, supposedly, there's a video out there where there was a physical confrontation between the two. And
What?
yeah, basically, he put his hands on her. Then he says she put her
Oh
hands
wow.
on him. And it's just a lot of vitriol that's being spewed out on his Facebook and her Facebook, you know. And this just goes to show you, you cannot look at people in the public eye or people that are on social media, that have these big platforms, and expect for their marriages or relationships to be 100%. We realized the same thing with
Mm-hmm.
Major Hype and the woman that he was seeing at the time. And she was saying, oh, he's abusive. But then he was saying, like, nah, she's spinning the narrative. And he did about probably maybe a 2-hour live video on his Instagram talking about everything that she put him through and all this other stuff. So it's wise to say that while those relationships on social media may look glamorous, you never know what's going on behind closed doors. Sometimes you might not even know what's going on with your friends' marriages. I remember a long time ago, one of my Facebook friends, and this isn't someone that I'm close with, but she had found out that her husband cheated on her, and she talked about everything in
Mm.
detail. And it was sad because I believe that they had a child together, and then all of a sudden, all of the stuff was wiped from social media as if it never existed. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you don't want
Mm.
everybody in your business. But I guess she just wanted to talk to people about the pain that she was dealing with at the time. You know what I mean? But yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of these celebrity relationships are not to be glamorized or to be looked upon as okay. This is they're the upper echelon. Like these are the people that we want to model ourselves after. No, you have to develop your own relationship. You have to develop your own um way of dealing with things. You got to be able to be open and talk to your partner and be like, "Yo, what's going on?" Like, find out why you guys are arguing all the time or why you can't agree on certain things. As opposed to being like, "Yo, she's not doing what she used to do. She's not cooking for me." You know, um, we used to have sex all the time. Now that's not happening anymore. You got to ask certain questions because it's like, do you feel like she should be giving you something and you're not reciprocate or you're not being able to give back? Because the thing is that you're able to reciprocate of what she's giving you, but are you giving her anything back in return? What are you putting into that relationship? You want the flames and the sparks and the nice dinner and the lovely conversation, and you guys just want to be happy. But we know when it comes to reality, that is not the case. Like, you don't get married and expect it for things to be good. You're gonna go through some rough patches. You know, the best thing to do is to talk to your partner and really be like, yo, all right, let's lay all our cards on the table. But enough for me. That's just what I had going on in my head.
I
Go
mean, I
ahead, because
feel you on
I know you
that.
got some more
And
fire.
huh?
And I said I know you got
You
some
said
more
what?
fire. I said I know you got some more fire in
I
you.
mean, always. I got my blowtorch. Make it hot. So, you know, so I mean, like, okay, I can go off of my experiences with relationships. I've only been in 2 relationships, as you know.
Wow.
One was on and off for 5 years. Crazy. Just a downright cheating whore. I'm just gonna put it out there. I don't care. Viewers, listeners, I'm a brutally honest person. I don't sugarcoat, I don't cover up, I don't add a little. I don't try to make it pretty. I'm going to just put it out there. Yeah, there's two sides to the story. Their side, my side, that's one. And then there's the truth.
Right.
Her honesty or whatever doesn't matter. She's a
Mm.
cheating whore. That's what she is. And even to this day, like, you know, we spoke a couple years ago, and she was still down with the same shit. She was trying to get inside my drawers.
Mm.
I mean, it is some nice drawers, but you can't. And then on top of that, she's married. She's married. So it's
Mm.
like that just goes to show you that some people just never change. Like
Right.
we were in a relationship back then, and she was, seeing a guy and lying to me. I mean, I had to, become Detective Hunt to find
Mm.
out what it was that I was looking for, but I got exactly what I was looking for. But then she got married, had a whole kid, and just still was doing the same thing. But then when her partner turned around, well, her wife turned around and did the same thing to her, she wanted to kill the girl and got locked up and all that shit. But,
Wow.
that's just beside the point. My thing
Wow.
is, I feel as though people just need to communicate in relationships, or just at least communicate, period. Even if it's not a relationship, whether it's friends with benefits, whether it's just two people just getting to know each other, communication is key and honesty is key. Like that would really just narrow things down to know that, hey, this person is not for me, this is not who I need to talk to, this is not
Right.
who I need to be around, and all that stuff. But people have a problem with doing that, and that's where a problem comes. Like, straight up and down, my ex, I still hate her to this day. I will always hate her from the bottom of my heart to the depths of my soul. I will always hate her. There ain't no love, because my thing is, when I get into a relationship with someone, I need
Mm.
communication. I need
Right.
to know what your plans are, what you're bringing to the table. If you don't see this being something like that you're trying to be in for the long run, I need you to let me know that, because
Mm.
I'm really a whole psychopath, and I don't need to be led on and just dragged on for years and years, you know, huh?
No, I was saying
Who?
to them, she ain't joking, she's serious. She said,
Yeah, I'm serious. I'm dead ass serious. I
remember
really am a whole
that.
psychopath. Yeah.
Remember that.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm brutally honest. It might come out, man. I'm visual and just nasty honest, and just it's just brutal. It's hardcore. But at least you're getting honesty from me. You're not gonna
Mm.
get a lie from me. If you want
Right.
me to lie, then you need to go to somebody else that lies, because you ain't gonna get it from me. You know?
Exactly.
And if you don't want to know the truth, don't ask my fucking opinion. You know?
Mm.
So yeah,
Respect.
if you want to know the truth and you ask me for my opinion and I tell you, don't be offended, you know? Don't get offended. Just eat the shit up and poop it out. Like if anybody like seriously, because I mean relationships are crazy. Like, okay, I tried talking to a couple of women. I did. One I met when I was at work. I So I'm gonna give you a rundown on how this went. My thing is, like I said, communication is key.
Right.
So, long story short, talk to the female, wanted to get to know her name, start hearing little stupid songs inside my head, little crazy little love songs in my head, in my heart, and blah 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 XYZ. Yeah. And
All wings of love.
yeah. No, no, it was more like it's tearing up my heart when
Oh my
I'm
no,
with
no,
you.
no, 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 no. Oh my goodness. Not that song. I'm tired of it. Not that song.
Yes,
Oh my god.
yes. Look, man, that's the first thing that came to my head when I saw her. Like, it's like my heart sunk. And I
Mm.
know that it was a long time that I felt that way. So I was like, okay, cool. I was shy to talk to her. So I talked to one of my coworkers, and my coworker went, spoke to her, whatever. She was laughing, giggling, whatever, blushing, blah, 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 XYZ, whatever, blah, 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 whatever. So The next day I got the courage. I walked up to her. I talked to her. She was sitting down eating lunch. I spoke to her. I felt, a little bit better. And, I asked for her phone number. Now, me being who I am, it's only one time in life I ever asked a female for her phone number. And well, I didn't ask her for a phone number. I kind of did. I kind of played it kind of smooth and cool. I was like, let me see your phone for a minute. She gave me her
Yeah.
phone and I typed in my phone number. I called her ass. I was like, bam, there, you got my phone number. So with this one, I want to turn it up a little bit. So I'm like, can I get your phone number? She's like, can I get your phone number? I'm like, yeah, can I get your phone number? You know? And she's like, I'm like, look, I'll never call you and I'll never text you. Man, why people trying to call me when I'm on air? I said I'm going on live at 8 o'clock.
You gotta
People
turn off
don't
your
fucking
notifications.
read, man. God damn.
Yo, now let me
Huh?
tell you something. You gotta turn off your notifications because this happened to me before. I had to turn off all my notifications so that there wasn't no any disturbance. So once you do that,
Oh,
nobody can call you. But it's too late for that. So
trust me, the next time I'm doing this shit on the laptop. So the phone ain't gonna even be next to me. Anybody that really knows me know I don't walk around this house with my damn phone. Like I'll have my headphones on, the phone will be inside charging, and I'll be walking around the whole house talking and everything. And it's not until I get back to the bedroom, then I'll put your ass on speaker. Like I really don't like the phone like that. I really don't. Or sometimes I just look at the phone and see a person calling and just be like,
right. All right. So
man.
go ahead, continue because they looking like yo. What you
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah, we got off topic.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
but like I said, so communication was what I felt like I needed to do. So I asked her for a phone number and I told her I never call her, I never text her unless she call or text me. And she said okay. So I gave her my phone. She put her phone in put her number in my phone, and that was that. So I thought about her a couple days after that, and or it probably was a week or whatever. And I just randomly hit her back, because I started thinking about her. So I asked her, was she feeling the same way that I was feeling for her? And she told me no, she didn't share the same feelings, and that she didn't share the same feelings, and that she personally don't date women.
Mm.
So the first thought in my head is, why the fuck you gave me your number in the first place, bro? Why you gave me your number? Yo, seriously. You first of all, I told you from the get-go how I felt about you. So if I'm telling you how I feel about you, then that means that you already know how I feel about you. And then now I want your phone number because I want to get to know you better. And I'm telling you, I'm trying to get to know you better. So at that point, I just want you to be like, you know what? Rashida, I'm not feeling you like that. I don't think this is a good idea. Blah, 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 XYZ, whatever bullshit excuse you want to come up with. But to tell me that, you know, you give me your phone number and I hit you up with a text, and then I felt some type of way because it's like I came at you 3 times. Like I came at you as a lover, I came at you as a homie, and I came at you as a friend.
Right.
And I really wasn't trying to get inside of your drawers.
Right.
I really wasn't trying to get inside your drawers. Like I really want to be a cool friend to you. You might be going through something. You might need advice. Hell,
Right.
I give great advice. I just don't know how to take my own advice. That's the problem right there. I give great advice. Great advice. I just can't take it. So, like I said, communication is key. You have to communicate in order to put your point across. And
Right.
relationships, communication is key. It might not have a C inside of it, but communication is key. It really is. You have to communicate because nobody wants to be led on. Nobody wants to be out here looking like a fool. And like I said, you see all these social media relationships, and then you see relationships in real life, and then you want to, emulate that relationship. And it's like, you don't know what the hell they've been through. You don't even know what they're going through right now. Like number one relationship fail right now. Like the number one couple who just need to fucking get a divorce and just call it quits and just never come back. I think it's the Smiths, Will and Jada. The two of them, they make me fucking sick. Just let that shit go. This bitch keep coming out on freaking social media talking about she was so disgusted she didn't want to get married to Will. She feel like she was bitch. Who forced you? Who forced you?
Your
Did
mom.
somebody put a gun to your head and tell you gotta marry this big ear Dirk? Like, come on. Nobody told you to do that. So I mean, why are you coming out with all of this? First, you had this big sausage inside of you, which is August Alsina, and then all of a sudden, now you want to go on social media talking about, oh, you didn't want to marry Will, and you kissed Tupac. We know you went down on Tupac. Tupac is not just gonna kiss your crazy ass. He had to get you inside the bed. You know, he had to test you out. Trust me, I know he smashed her, and a whole bunch of other people smashed. But now, she's regretting it. So now she's trying to come out with a tell-all book. Who the hell she's supposed to be? Superhead? Seriously?
For those of you
Hell
who don't
yeah,
know
I
what that
said
is,
that shit.
that's the hip hop video vixen that was talking about her relationships with Shaq and a couple of other people. Even you know what? Let me not even mention those names. What? Go ahead, continue. And then
Man, no, 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 no. You don't mention them. I'm gonna mention them. She went out with Usher. Usher's gay. She did 50. She did all them guys. I just recently found out that she was with Snoop. And then she was with what's his name? Eminem.
I did not know that.
Do you know how low you gotta be?
I knew about Usher. I knew about Usher. Um,
She smashed all the dudes in the industry. She had every piece of sausage inside of her.
and
I'm
you still.
surprised she still have walls.
I gotta take a drink of water for a moment because this is getting real.
You gotta take a drink of water. What, you thirsty?
This is getting too real right now. But yo,
What
I'm
you
gonna
mean
tell
it's
you about
too real?
something. No, no, let me tell you something. Nah, because it's starting to get hot. In reference to the Smiths, okay, so I wouldn't say necessarily that Jada got forced, but I want you to understand something. I want you to understand what I'm about to say. All right, so Will and Jada got pregnant, and basically Jada's mother was like, "Listen, y'all got to get married." She's from that. Her mother is from that old school adage, like, "Yo, if y'all gonna have a baby, y'all gotta get married. This child is not gonna be born a bastard." You know what I mean? She comes from that generation, and so she really did not want to marry Will. But then they went and they had their child, and then they had another child, and they've been going across the world doing whatever. She has her group, Wicked Wisdom. He started off a very successful solo career, and this is all in I think 1997 or 1998 when they got married. And life seemed like it was good. The kids got into acting. Willow started a music career. Jaden was at the top of the charts with the Karate Kid and a lot of other stuff. You know what I mean? But their relationship, in certain ways, suffered. Many people for years had rumors about the Smiths, and when August Alsina came out in 2020 and talked about how Will gave him his blessing, I'm like, no man on this earth is gonna be like, yeah, go ahead, you may partake of my wife. This is not the Bible times, you know what I mean? So looking at that whole dynamic, I was like, yo, like, are you serious? And he had an album coming out. I felt like he should not have spoken about it. He should have just been shh. But the problem is
Hmm.
that now Jada has to talk about it on Red Table Talk. And I'm looking at Will in the video, and this man looks like he's been through hell and back. But then things just continuously get worse. You know, I mean, the icing on the cake was the situation that happened at the Oscars. Like, your man actually stood up to defend you, but then she was like, this has to do with his ego, or maybe she didn't say that. She said when he had planned her, I think her 47th birthday party, he planned it. She was like, she didn't want it. He still planned it anyway. And she said, like, this is just about your ego. And he was like, yeah, she's right, because I was just trying to show her that I could do all this and stuff. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you may have decided that this is what you wanted to do for your wife out of love, but it's like the least she could have said was thank you. Now, in terms of their relationships and her talking about how he doesn't please her in bed and all these different things, certain things you should just keep to yourself or your marriage counselor. I remember many times there was a therapist that appears on Red Table Talk. I do not know her name, but I believe it's their therapist. And I remember after I think the special, the Fresh Prince of Bel Air reunion special, that Will was talking to his therapist about the issues that he and Janet Hubert had in the past, right? But as I look
Mm-hmm.
at Will Smith now, I look at a man that's been through a lot emotionally, mentally, physically. To have your wife say he doesn't please me sexually, to have her say, "Oh, this was an entanglement," you know, it's like, when is it gonna stop? Like, I look at it now and I'm like, yo, did you ever want to be married to this man? I mean, you guys took vows,
Hmm.
but now it's come to the point where
Hmm.
everything is coming out into the open. Do you really want to be married? If not, you guys need to take the time to talk about this and decide what it is that you really want. Maybe the best thing to do is split. The kids are old enough, they've known what's going on, they know the deal. At the end of the day, y'all got to do what makes you happy. Like, if this is a relationship that is wrapped up in toxicity and it's a toxic environment, it's time to just amicably split. Go your separate ways. You guys can still have love for each other, and it's all good. And the funny thing about this whole situation, right? As I'm looking at
Mm-hmm.
this, Jada is very good friends with Cherie Zampino. That's Will Smith's first wife. And
First
I would
wife.
think, as all of this stuff is going on, she's probably thinking like, man, he's really dealing with a lot, because she's not in the spotlight. She doesn't have to deal with that. Neither does her son Trey. But just to think like, yo, yeah, me and Jada, we cool, but it's like, I mean, what advice can she give to either of them? Because her marriage with Will failed because he wasn't fully invested, right? But with his marriage to Jada, he was 100% invested, and still, I mean, look at the turnout now. Things didn't turn out the way that he probably expected. And I know this man doesn't like people in his business. He has tried to heal time and time again. The public won't let him, and it's like, yo, like, what more do y'all want from this man? You know what I mean? He's never cheated on his wife. He's never publicly.
I mean, he did have some stuff going on while he was married. He did.
They said, but I don't think anything can be confirmed. Well, maybe I won't take it that far. But
I think it was
if he did have
confirmed.
if he did have a fling, it wasn't out in the open. Like, let me tell you something. To have, and I'm gonna put it in this context, to have a nationally broadcast talk show on Facebook Watch, meaning that millions, probably even billions or zillions of people watch you, right? To have a platform that's that strong, you don't think that you're gonna at least face some type of backlash, even if it is the truth, you know? But it just goes to show us that these relationships in Hollywood were never concrete. You look at Tyrese, he ended up getting married, divorced that woman, ended up in another relationship with a girl that was, I think, 27, ended that too. He's always saying that these women are the problem. But you are the one who made the choice to be in relationships with them. What is it about these women that makes you feel that they're not giving 100%? Do you not feel complete in your relationship? What is it what do you believe as a man that you are lacking? You know, because we want to put the blame on women all the time, right? But the men must take responsibility too. Okay. Um y'all stay with me. Something just happened to the stream. I mean, we're still alive, but something happened to Rashida's video. Please stay with me. All right. Just give us one moment.
Just let it in. So
All right.
sad.
All right, we back. We back. We
When
back. We
do
back. We live now. All right. So what was the last thing I was saying? Well, I lost my train of
you're
thoughts.
talking about the Smiths being dummies?
I, yeah, I mean, with this relationship, it was with everything that was going on with them. I think it was bound to take a dive, and I say that because no matter what this man did or no matter what she did, I don't think she was ever fully happy 100%. You know, now money does not solve all problems, right? Obviously, he's very successful with the movies that he's produced and created, and she's very successful with her movie roles and also executive producing some of the television shows that her husband's company has helped to produce. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how rich you are. It doesn't matter how poor you are. What matters is the status of your relationship. And if your relationship is not good and you guys are not on good terms, how exactly do you expect for things to flourish? You literally have to sit down with your partner and be like, yo, let's talk. Let's figure out what's going on. Let's iron out all the details. But it seems like people are so afraid to do that nowadays. Like, what do you have to lose? Men will be like, yo, well, I don't feel like talking. Every time I say something, she uses it against me. Good. Let her do that. Get out what exactly it is that you need to get out and let her hear it. You
Put
know,
stuff acting up.
can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? All right, guys, I don't know what's going on. Hold on. All right, so there's some stuff that's going on. I guess Rashida's connection is acting up a little bit. Oh, let's see if we got it. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. Hopefully, your internet don't cut off this time. But I'm just gonna wrap things up. Yeah. So you got to be able to be open with your significant other. You can't be afraid to talk to them about certain things, even if you feel like it's going to piss them off. You got to talk about it. So now I'm gonna swing it back over to you.
Uh,
Uh, people, I apologize. I sincerely apologize because I don't know.
Communication, love, honesty, trust.
Hold on,
They all go
hold on,
hand
wait,
in
wait,
hand.
hold on. Stop. Your video froze and your audio froze, so we
My
didn't get a chance.
video didn't freeze. My stuff
You
right
did.
here.
It's still frozen. Now it's not frozen.
Man,
All right,
man,
so
I
go ahead.
see my sexy mahogany chocolate ass. I am good.
All right, you see now it's messing up again. All right, so go ahead. Go say what you're gonna say, because a lot of people missed
Stuff
it.
go hand in hand with each other. If you don't got love, you don't got trust. If you don't got trust, you don't got honesty. If you don't got honesty, you ain't got no communication. No communication, no relationship, and that'll leave you single. So you just gotta you just gotta communicate. I feel like everybody right now honestly shouldn't be dating because food is just way too expensive right now. So
Right.
nobody shouldn't be going on any dates because nobody don't want to be used out here. Nobody want to be played out here. So shit, stay home and
Exactly.
cook. And man, I'm mad the internet signal been going out all the time. I mean, that's like number one. Tired
I
the
mean, it's
signals
all
been
right.
going out.
It's all right. We still here. We still going. You know what I mean? Get through it and stuff like that. And I totally agree with what you're saying. You know what's crazy to me? Dudes will spend money on a lavish, all expenses paid trip, food, hotel, stage show, all of this, right? And right
Mhm.
when the trip gets close to the end, the dude is like, "All right, so what we doing tonight?" And the woman's just like, "What do you mean what we doing tonight?" He's like, "Yeah, I paid for all the
AKA that means you gonna give up the ass. That's what it means.
But look, but listen. Here's the thing. She doesn't know that he's doing all this just to get some front. So when I mean, well, let's be honest. Not all women are that naive. Some women know the game and is like, oh, free trip, all right, because it's like, yo. But at the same time, I feel like, yo, if you leave a female stranded, like, let me tell you something. If you don't even tell her, like, the reason why I'm doing all this is because of X, Y, Z. Matter of fact, first of all, you're not even going to tell her because that's stupid. Like, why would you set somebody up like that and then expect for her to give you some buns? But then following that, if you decide, I'm gonna leave you here, you have to find your own way home. It's like, first off, someone said that that's almost similar to kidnapping. You're taking somebody almost against their will, even though it's not against their will. And then after that, in exchange for sexual favors, then if they don't give you said favors, you'll leave them stranded. You know how dangerous that is for a woman to be alone at night in a strange country where she knows no one, all because of the fact that she didn't have sex with some guy? It's mind boggling to me. It's mind blowing that as a man, you're like, yo, this is what I deserve. No, no, no. You don't just get any and everything that you want. If the only reason why you're talking to this woman is because you want sexual favors, then say that from the beginning. Be direct and clear. Men think that they are entitled to certain things just because they see other guys get it. No, not so. I'm going to tell you a situation. Back in 2016, I was waiting for the bus. I was headed home, right? And I saw this car speeding down Archer Avenue. Car is speeding, right? And then all of a sudden, I like, for whatever reason, I heard somebody screaming within the car. The car zooms back around,
What?
and right in front of the bus stop, the woman gets out and the guy speeds off.
Yeah.
When the bus pulls up, I tell you, this woman, she crossed the street. So what did I do? Instead of taking my bus home, I probably waited another like 10 to 15 minutes for another bus. I walked over there and I asked her, "Are you okay?" She's like, "I'm fine." Basically, what happened was she met this dude online. They met through a dating service. She went out with him. As the night was ending, basically, he was trying to sexually assault her. and she was trying to get out the car. Basically, he wouldn't let go, and the next thing you know, like she was just screaming. So where I was standing at when I heard this, like she was literally screaming, like she had the window open and everything, and the car is going this way, and then all of a sudden the car circles back around just in time for the bus to pop up. And I went across
Oh,
the and I gave her my business card because at that time I used to make business cards for my recording studio. And I told her, if you ever need help, let me know. I asked her, like, yo, do you want me to walk? Do you need me to help you with anything? She was like, nah, I'm gonna have a friend that's coming with me to go to the precinct. And that was it. And I never saw that young lady again, you know.
she ain't call you neither?
No, no, not at all. But it wasn't about that. It was about
Mm,
making sure that she was all right. All the other people on that
yeah,
heard that situation and heard her scream. None of them were willing to see if she was okay. They all minded their business and went on the bus. And
because
I
that shit is
understand,
probably the norm.
yeah, no, but I understand for good reason because it's like, yo, you don't know if this guy's gonna back around if he has a gun. All different types of things could have happened to her, and as a result, maybe I could have gotten hurt in the process. But at that moment, I
Yeah,
was concerned with my safety. I was more concerned about hers. And I'm not saying that I'm fearless or anything like that, but I felt like as a man, it would be irresponsible for me to see someone in that situation and not go over there and at least try to see what was happening, you know? And so we spoke for a few minutes and then that was that. I waited for my next bus and I went home, and that was it. But I brought up that because men oftentimes think that they're entitled to a woman's body. If a woman says no, she says no, period. That doesn't mean that you take the opportunity to go and dig at her until she says yes. But men have different types of mentalities. They're like, yo, um, now I paid for all this dinner. Look at you in this dress. You looking so fine. Like, you mean to tell me you're not gonna give it up? No, she doesn't have to. So because she's dressed in a particular way, that means that she has to give you what you want or give you what you expect? No, that doesn't make any sense. And those are the type of interactions you have to watch out for in relationships. There are men right now in relationships with their wives and girlfriends, and they're sexually assaulting them right at this moment. And you don't
mm,
know. And some of these men can be very controlling. Now, I saw a clip from the Caramel Brown show, right? And basically he was talking to a guy who was having relationship problems with his girlfriend or wife, right? This dude
mm-hmm,
had 5 baby mothers, and he said, I suffer from um, post-traumatic slut disorder. And Karamo was like,
Is that really a
like, what?
disorder?
Yeah, yeah, post-traumatic slut disorder. And then he said, I had 2 of my baby mamas cheat on me, and I can't trust women. So his wife comes on the show, right? And
Mm-hmm.
Karamo staff go through her text messages, and they say, like, listen, she hasn't been sending anything inappropriate or sexually explicit to anybody. But then they decide to go through her man's phone, and he's just cursing her out in the text messages and stuff and being like, I know what you're doing and all that stuff. So even after that, he says, like, yeah, that's why I followed you because I felt like you were up to something. At this point, he did not apologize to her, and she's crying, right? And think about this.
Mm-hmm.
You as a man, for you to be that controlling and wanting her to pick up the phone at a specific time and be like, yo, yes. Like, for example, she's working the register. She doesn't have time to talk with you. Why are you calling her every 5 minutes?
Because he ain't got no trust.
Exactly.
So I
And
be
also,
with her.
but then look at this. He knows that he himself, as a man or as a partner in general, he knows that he's not perfect. I mean, he has he has 5 baby mothers for a reason. He's not stable. He doesn't have any stability. You know, like often hear about men that go and they plant their seed everywhere and think that everything is just going to be cool and groovy, and oftentimes blame the women. No, you have your part of the responsibility also as well. But at the end of the day, women got to watch out for both women and men have to watch out for controlling partners in relationships because things can get very toxic at times. People don't realize, like, yo, it's cool, being in love or liking somebody. All of that is great, but sometimes you don't know the signs or realize when you're being abused. And for some people, it's hard to walk away. Some people will be
Yeah.
like, yo, if you ever leave me, I'll kill you.
Man, I wish, I wish I would be with a female and she talking about she gonna kill me if I leave her. Really? You first. Ain't nothing about me. You tripping, girl?
And you see, we
Like
and
you
we can
don't need to.
we can laugh
And
about
you
it.
see the red flags in those
Right,
relationships. You see the red
right,
flags. People ignore the red flags, and that goes whether it's friends with benefits, whether it's somebody you just getting to know, or even marriages.
right,
You see red flags and you need to nip those shits in the bud. Like you don't need to keep stuff going and you're like, oh well, maybe if they do this and I don't like it, maybe I'll just give it some time and then maybe you know they'll fall out of it and they'll never do it again and such and such. And as time progresses, it gets worse. And that's where communication comes. Hey, I don't like this that you do. Hey, I don't like this that you do. Hey, we need to change this. How can we change this? I know
right,
me in a relationship, I know that I'm the type of person that if I see a flaw, I'm gonna bring it to your attention.
right,
And if I see as time progresses, you keep doing the same thing, I'm not gonna keep saying it to you over and over because I'm not dating a child, I'm dating a female, I'm dating an adult.
right.
So if I'm telling you that this is a problem and you're not gonna change it, then we just need to cut all ties at that point. And you go your separate way, I go my separate way. And whoever picks you up, God help them because they're gonna have to deal with that annoying flaw. I'm
Yeah,
good,
true, true. And you know
you
what?
know?
The best thing from jump is to be honest, to be direct, and be yourself. The delivery might seem harsh, but it's like, yo, if you really want to be with me, like, all you got to do is just tell me the truth. Keep it honest with me. Don't hide anything from me. And if you feel like you're the type of person to hide something from me, maybe we shouldn't move forward with this relationship. Like, I look at the dynamics of Ike and Tina's relationship, right? And she ignored a lot
Nutbush.
of red, yes. But she ignored a lot of red signs, right? Like, I mean, a lot of red flags. I mean, we looked at the movie
Flag.
and it was dramatized, but I'm pretty sure it was um more intense than that. That was just light, tame stuff, you know what I'm saying? But I'm pretty sure it was more intense. Like, I saw an interview that Ike Turner did in 1993 when the movie first came out, and he was talking about how um he was like, anime used to walk around. That's Tina's real name. He used to be like, and used to walk around looking sad with her face drooping. And then after that, he was like, I was slapper to wake up. And I'm like, yo, is he serious? And I've seen, like, this video has been posted many different times, but it's like he said, you know, I've done nothing more to Tina than I would want someone to do to my own mother. And I'm just like, dude, do you know the trauma that you put that woman through? Do you know the issues that she? Okay, I apologize, y'all. I apologize. We'll be back in a moment. Just stay with us, please.
I know.
All right. All right, we back. We back. We back. That was funny. But yeah, like, their relationship was bad. And I'm like, yo, how could someone stay with this dude for so long? But he was controlling. He was controlling. You know what I mean? And some women are afraid to leave because they're afraid that they'll get um killed and all these different things. You know what I mean? They're worried. Like, you got to understand that when a man is beating on you, he's not beating on you because he loves you. He's beating on you because he's a coward. There are insecurities that he has that he cannot fix himself. He doesn't want to go get therapy. He doesn't want to go get help. So when he's dealing with things, he would rather take his anger out on you as opposed to get help. You know, like it reminds me of that episode of A Different World. I don't know if you remember. It's called Love Taps, right? Gina was in this
Mm-hmm.
relationship with this guy named Dion, and basically, you know, Dion was, little local rapper around campus. Everybody liked him, but he was very jealous and possessive, you know.
Mm-hmm. I remember that episode.
And I remember there was this one particular scene where, um, I guess she was around Ron, and he was like, "Yo, why you being so friendly?" All of a sudden, he started slamming her against the wall and just turned into a jealous dude. Like, I can't understand, like, why as a man you would be that insecure, like to even want to hit your girl and be like, "Yo, like, why you saying hello to him?" Because she can say hello. And then later on, we realize in the episode, you know, she got a black eye, she's wearing sunglasses and all this other stuff, and you know, I remember there was this particular scene where Mr. Gaines was like, he was like, my sister said, I don't believe my man loves me unless he hits me twice a day. And then after that, he said, we buried her last year and just walked away from the table and left Gina with that
She loved her to death.
sobering moment to be like, yo, this man can kill me. So at the end of the episode, Dion gets arrested. She finally decides that she wants to press charges, and that's it. And then he pops up again, like 2 seasons later, trying to get it back.
He did?
And
I missed
yeah,
that one.
that's in the last season. It's the episode with Billy D. Williams, and basically he grabs her arm to try to bring her back down to sit down. And at this point in time, he's supposed to be in recovery, and dude just he thought he could come back in like, yo, I went through this program, I'm good. Like, I just wanted to see you. Dudes will be like, yo, I got cleaned up. Nah, you didn't get cleaned up. You're still taking certain liberties to be around this woman and make her feel uncomfortable, as if everything was fine, you know. But I mentioned that, and even though that's a fictional show, that's, you know what I mean. A lot of women go through that. Or let's even talk about the scene in the Temptations where David Ruffin is with Tammy Terrell,
Mm-hmm.
and she starts talking. She
Grab
starts
him
giving
up.
hugs to the members of the Temptations. He's like, "Yo, come over here," and he's like, "Yo, why you like?" Basically, he's walking her mad fast and be like, "Yo, why you talking to somebody? Ain't nobody talking to nobody." Like, you know what I'm saying? And then years later, I found out like Tammy Terrell faced crazy abuse at the hands of David Ruffin. You know what I mean? But it's crazy. Like I think he said to Blue, like, you don't know nothing about me and my woman. And we like, yo, because you gotta understand. You know what I mean? This dude rose to prominence in one of the best um groups of that era of the 1960s. You know what I mean? And sometimes when a man has too much power like that, he thinks like, yo, he can just talk to anybody any way that he pleases or deal with women any way that he pleases. Like, and I've heard stuff about Lou Rawls too. You know what I mean? And him beating up his
Who?
wife and all that. Lou Rawls.
You'll never find a hairline like mine? He was beating somebody?
Yeah, his wife. Yeah.
What the hell? I thought he
Well,
died, yo.
no, he did. He passed away, I think, like 2004 or something like that. But I brought that up because, sometimes we look to some of these entertainers like they're the greatest thing in the world. But a lot of them
Mm-hmm.
have abusive pasts, they have abusive backgrounds. And we need to stop looking towards these people. We actually need to work on our own relationships, work on our own healing, talk about generational curses. Because let me tell you something. You can get married to somebody, they're dealing with a generational curse. You're dealing with a generational curse, and you're just repeating the same thing over and over again. And then, God forbid, you end up passing that same stuff on to your children. And then they wonder why they're unable to communicate with their spouses and so on and so forth. But enough from
Yep.
me. I'm ready to hear from you.
You want to hear from me? So I feel like I feel like relationships abuse. First of all, I don't condone the whole abuse in relationships. I don't, not even for a second, because I feel like once you get heated, and I got anger issues, so if I'm in a relationship, like my ex, when I had my first apartment, she used to piss me off all the time. And I mean, like, to a point where I could have hurt her, but I wouldn't do that because I don't condone that. Like, I can't, and that would be just for a short amount of time. Like, I'm not the type of person, I can't beat up my partner and see the person that I'm supposedly supposed to be in love with, see you in a corner, you know, bleeding and crying and begging for help and stuff like that. And I'm just like, you know, with my ego talking about, oh, I'm gonna beat your ass, I'm gonna fuck you up. No, that wouldn't make me feel good.
Right.
How is that gonna make me feel good knowing that my partner is there? And that's what I want these guys to think about. Just like when they used to have the episode of Maury, where they used to have the
I was just thinking about
abusive,
that.
controlling guys, you know, and they would go up on stage. Oh, don't look at him. And Maury's like, look at me, look at me. He can't do anything to you. So it's like they would do all of that and it'd be like, no, no, Maury, that's just because it's you. That's because it's you. No, but you said that if she looks at any guy, you would beat her ass. Maury's a guy. So why aren't you beating her ass? Why don't you try to beat her up on stage? And then they would put them I think D West would come inside and be like, and they'd be like, man, because I can do that, I can do that. And then they would take them to the funeral homes and their wife would be all in makeup and stuff in the box. And then they start sniffling and crying. I don't want to see my baby like that. I love her. I don't know why I act like that. Dude, stop being a bitch. Man up. You want to say that when you want to be in her ass, man. Like, man, my thing is, if you don't put your hands on her, the one thing you don't want your partner to be is terrified and intimidated by you. Your partner should be safe and secure and loved by you. They shouldn't feel like their life is in danger, or, you know, when they get mad, if you're going to snap or break their neck or something like that. They shouldn't feel like that, you know? And it shouldn't get to a point where they have to bring outside forces to try to get away from you. Like, it shouldn't get to that point. If a person doesn't want to be with you and you guys are in a relationship, then when it's all said and done, you know, make it work or just cut it off. You know, it shouldn't to abuse and violence in the relationship to get your point across. Because if you're talking to the person, if you guys are communicating and it's not working, then cut your ties, cut your losses. Because obviously, okay, like, I'm going to give you a prime example. Last year, the end of last year, I started talking to this chick, and give you the history with that. So when I was with my ex, well, my last ex, when my ex cheated on me, I was so hurt and heartbroken. Like, you know, I went on the dating site and I started talking to the other female. Gosh, I forgot what me and my friend at that time, Chris, had called it. Damn, Adorable. She was adorable. So we called her Adorable. And Adorable, we got close and we were talking, but, you know, nothing ever happened. And my ex found out, of course, jumped in inbox, threatened her. Long story short, me and Adorable, we kind of branched off. Like, we stopped talking a little while and then we started back talking. And when we started back talking, she was already dating at that time. So it was like,
Right.
damn, but fast forward, a couple years ago, we ended up we started back talking. We hooked up. Ugh,
Mm.
I don't think we should have hooked up. I think we should have just left them skeletons in the damn closet, honestly.
Right.
Um, so we ended up hooking up, and we were gonna see where things were gonna go because she was tired of being hurt. I was tired of being hurt. So we just said that we would make it work with each other, you know, and we were both looking for love. So it was like, okay, we're gonna try to make it work. But from the jump, you know, a lot of misconception that goes into getting to know a person. Women feel, or yeah, I could say women because not a lot of men, but some men, but a lot of women feel like if you're setting ground rules that it's a means of control. It's not a means of control. It's that person knows what they want in a partner, and they're not going to take that. They're not gonna, even, you know, try to work with you a little bit. They know that this is what they're looking for.
Right.
And with that female, that's what I said, one of my rules that I'm inside of my relationship. I feel like if I'm getting to know you and we're in a relationship, we're going to, know each other and stuff like that. You cannot communicate with your ex, not whatsoever. Like, I don't care how you feel like I'm controlling you, but it can't happen because I know what it's like to have your ex in the picture, and what is there to talk about? If they were relevant, they would still be with you.
Mm.
Obviously, it didn't work for a reason, and and the only way I feel like two exes need to communicate with each other is if they share a kid with each other. I
Right.
know me personally, I will never be with another female that has kids because I've dealt with it. And I had one, the same whore that I was talking about, had 4 kids. And she, man, like I'm trying to brutally honest. Man, I don't give a fuck what y'all say on the social media. I am brutally honest. I will always be as real as that. Man, she a whore. She is a whore. This is the same person who let 4 dudes come inside of her because she got 4 kids and 4 different dudes that came to her. And then she turned around and said, "Oh, I don't do dick." What? So how you get pregnant? What you mean? What you mean? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Why is it not making sense? You are not gay, and I told her, that's the other one, but Adorable, me and Adorable, we were talking. She kept communicating with her ex, which was a problem. She's being sneaky with it. She doesn't know me, technology whiz, so I'm, hacking her stuff and I'm seeing her pages and all that stuff. Her ex, they're still friends on the social media page, and I'm telling her like, yo, this is not okay with me. Like,
Right.
stuff like this I don't roll with, and she's like, oh, well, what are you talking about? Such and such. Long story short, I just got fed up with it. And, I cut her off and she couldn't let go, like still was contacting me. I'm glad that the phone got cut off. I'm glad, because now you don't have my number. You can't call me. You can't communicate with me. There's no love anymore. Like it's over. And you just got to accept that because, you put yourself in that position. We could have been cool. We could have been still rolling with each other, and still building and getting to know each other. But once again, like I said, there's no communication. There's no honesty. There's no trust. If I can't trust you and you can't be honest with me, then we can't have anything to go off of because I'm trying to build a foundation. You can't build any foundation with lies, and dishonesty and no loyalty and anything like that. You should be like, okay, well, I'm meeting this person, especially the Adorable, her ex, put her hands on her. If I'm with somebody and they put their hands on me, like that's the end of us. Like there's no, we left on good terms. No, once you put your hand on me, it's a wrap. Like there's nothing else to talk about.
Right.
But for you to turn around and still want to communicate with this bad person, like, nah, we got a problem at that point. We really do.
I totally
You
agree
really do
with
have a
that.
problem. And hmm?
No, I said I totally agree with that.
Yeah, I couldn't roll with that. And I mean, like I said, that was last year December, and she still couldn't let go. The beginning of this year. It's like, if you want to have your ex in your pitch in your in your corner, that's cool. I don't have a problem with you having your ex in your corner, but I just know that I won't be in your corner. And I've made it known, several times, and it's like, you like it's just not registering up there. Like, I'm trying to tell you that, like, that's not how I roll. You know,
Right.
Communication is key. And like I said, we know, everybody that knows me knows I'm a whole psychopath. So if I'm
Mm,
telling you to stop doing something, there's a reason why I'm telling you to stop doing it, because that little light inside of me is going to keep flickering, and then those little images are going to be flickering inside my head, and I don't want to act on those images.
right.
So it's like, communication is key. If people would just be honest, like, there wouldn't be any problems in the world. But people can't be honest. They're always trying to get over on the next person, or feel like, oh, I can have this my way. I can have my cake and eat it too. No, boo, you can't do that, because the day and age that we live in, everybody is not the same. Everybody's not, operating on the right views. You might
Right.
have some of them that might be like, you know what, God bless you, I'll let you go in your corner. Then you got some people like me who will curse you out. Then there's people that's worse than me, that will actually go to killing you
Mm,
and hiding your body.
right.
It goes to that extreme. It's that simple. It's
Mm,
that simple. And a lot of these people, there there's just so many there's so many red flags out there, but a lot of people just don't want to be honest with each other. And then they take it to that extreme where they kill the person, and then at that point, you know honesty is out the picture at that point. You dead and gone. There's no honesty anymore. So if you were honest from the get-go, you would be alive to tell the story. Hey, me and such went out, it didn't work. But you weren't being truthful, so you dead, and now nobody hears your side of the story
mm.
but the Lord. That's it.
Yeah, and that right there is the sad part too, because it's like it never has to go that way. What I would say to people that are in relationships where they feel like they can't trust someone, it's best to just walk away. Don't ever let it get to that point where you feel you have to physically put your hands on somebody or end your whole life or end up going to prison for the rest of your life because you just can't control yourself. Like, it's best to just leave that toxic relationship. Leave it alone. Like, just leave it alone. You know what I mean? Because there's no reason why you need to be locked up in handcuffs or going to court or getting maximum life sentence because you just decided like, nah, I gotta get the last say in. Sometimes it is okay to walk away. It's okay to end the relationship. If you feel that you are being abused, whether it's physically, mentally, or even spiritually, you have the right to walk away. Nobody has the right to put their hands on you. Nobody has the right to make you feel any type of way. You can leave. But understand, when you come into a relationship and someone has a particular expectation of what they want you to do, if they're asking you like, yo, please don't have any contact with your ex, you should understand that. Unless the two of you are raising children. But if it's anything other than that, it is a red flag. You can't be with somebody new and then you're messing with your ex. It doesn't make any sense. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, so well, it's a lot that we talked about tonight. I think we're gonna wrap it up right now. I want to thank you
Wrap
guys.
it up.
Yeah, so we
Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Sing
chill,
it,
chill, 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 chill.
Crustache.
This
Make this world a better place.
I hope this video doesn't get flagged for copyright infringement because of all the songs that we sang in it.
Man, ain't nobody. I
you,
wish.
you
I
never
wish
know.
they would,
Next,
yo.
next thing you know, content ID shows up. Yeah, this belongs to Universal. Like what?
Well, at least we know something, though. At least we know something. If they were able to go, because we're almost at the end of the show. So if you're listening to it and you hear the music, then that means you watch the show. What you think about the shit? What you think
so,
about the shit? You like it?
all right, so
Like for real.
I'm gonna have Rashida end it off because this is her podcast. So go ahead, do your thing.
All right, people. What's up? Like I said, it's your girl Rashida Hunt. You could catch me. You can catch me on TikTok. You can catch me on Twitter. Um, well, on I think it's on YouTube, Rashida Hunt. That's RASHIDAHUNTE. And on Twitter, uh, yeah, on Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Um, you like I said, other than YouTube, you can catch me, Rashida Hunt, number 9, one word. Uh, I don't really do Cash App. But if you want, I mean, you can scratch the 9 and you could add the 1 5 to it. I really don't ask for anything, so yeah. I'm single. I'm a Virgo. Um, I am somewhat a lover. I'm just playing. I'm being stupid. I'm being stupid. I'm playing. I'm playing. But yeah, y'all catch me on that. Y'all make sure y'all tune in. Y'all follow my man Gabe. Y'all make sure that y'all keep up with the podcast. We gonna definitely have more shows. We got a whole lot of topics to cover.
A whole lot.
Yeah, and y'all don't even get me started on gay people. We gonna get into that.
Yeah,
that's when shit gonna get real.
That's gonna be an open.
Y'all think today was real? It's gonna get nasty.
Yeah,
my mouth ain't got no filter.
That discussion is gonna be a lot, and so, hey, that might be a very important episode that you guys want to watch. A lot of questions, a lot of things you were thinking are going to be answered. But anyway, I am the IMC. If you go to IG, it's the I.M.C. If you go to TikTok, it's at the IMC. No dots in between. Twitter, DJ Livewire 1990 1990. YouTube, GManCool23, GMANKOO23. And then there's Gabriel Daniels Productions, which is my other YouTube channel. All right, so you guys got me there. Oh goodness, I got some more tags, but yeah, but you guys got the basic stuff. Y'all, if y'all want to check out my videos and my commentary, I just did 3 videos today on my TikTok account. So that's at the IMC on TikTok. All right. Anyway, we out, y'all. Thank y'all for watching. We really appreciate it. We will be back very soon. All right. We're going to let you know when the next podcast is. Oh, one more thing. Every month,
what?
There's another podcast that I'm a part of. It's called the Meaning of the Minds podcast. We just did our episode last week. It's called Double Standards Between Men and Women, Part 2. So it's already on my YouTube channels. All right, so you guys can check it out. Every month, we're going to be bringing you something different. So make sure you check out Meaning of the Minds podcast, and also make sure that you check out Straight Talk with Rashida Hunt, because she's going to get into, she's going to rip into the fabric. You won't know what hit you.
All in the flesh.
Yeah.
In the blood. In the bloodstream.
All right, so all right, y'all. We out. Thank you guys for joining us. Peace.
All right, y'all.